Interesting numbers coming out here. I've mentioned in a few videos before, and I'm really a bit surprised no one else has said this. How and why are people buying certain electric cars when they're so expensive? Now, Automotive News in Europe just reported recently that the Tesla Model Y's sales success is a slap in the face for its rivals. They said this: Tesla is winning sales with better performance and a more premium interior at roughly the same price as European competition. So they're saying what I've been saying for a while now. Tesla are winning sales because they're simply selling a better product at the same or less money. In fact, if you have a look at cheaper cars, or cars that are only a tiny bit cheaper, you've got to really wonder why they're selling. And what do I mean by that? Let's have a look at these numbers. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. It's great to see you. Thank you for tuning in. My name's Sam Evans. So, ID3 is one of the best-selling cars in Europe. Of course, Tesla Model Y sells a lot more than Volkswagen sells of the ID3. Keep that in mind. Europe's traditional automakers were given a slap in the face with news that the Tesla Model Y was the best-selling car in Europe this year. Not EV, but the best-selling car for the first 6 months of the year. The SUV was more popular than mass-market models such as the Dacia Sandero, the very cheap budget car, usually sells really well. The Volkswagen T-Roc, of course, the Volkswagen Golf, which used to be the best-selling car in Europe, which means that this is quite a shock. And when Elon Musk said the Model Y would be the best-selling car in the world, I think a lot of us went, hang on a minute, come on, you can't be serious. Another Elon Musk marketing ploy here. Well, I think he really genuinely just did the numbers, realized that it was true. Tesla's success does not come as much of a surprise, says Automotive News in Europe. After all, the Model Y offers better performance and a much more premium interior at the same price as electric cars from rival brands. Here we go. This is interesting. Which of these battery electric SUVs would you choose if you had the choice, says Automotive News. Now, remember who funds Automotive News. Worth keeping that in mind. Advertising. Who pays for advertising? It's not Tesla. So this is a pretty compelling case to consider what they're saying as being objectively, fairly factual. A Model Y base variant with a range of 455 kilometers, lithium iron phosphate battery, so you can charge the battery to 100%, so that the real world range is closer to what they're claiming, 204 horsepower, top speed of 217 kilometers per hour, 0 to 100 acceleration in 6.9 seconds, a price of 44,900 euros, and it's bigger than the car that I'm about to mention. The alternative is the Volkswagen ID4 base variant. It has a range of 360 kilometers, so 90 kilometers less range. It doesn't have an LFP battery pack, meaning you can't really, realistically, on a day-to-day basis, charge that battery beyond 80%. It has 170 horsepower, 160 kilometer per hour top speed. 0 to 100 is in a fairly pedestrian 8.5 seconds. That's 0 to 62 miles an hour. Price is 43,000 euros. However, its software obviously is nowhere near as good as the software in the Model Y. It's definitely missing quite a few features versus the Model Y. Model Y, in fact, has a slew of features that the ID4 base variant doesn't have. If you compare them like for like, spec for spec, you've got to buy a higher grade ID4, which is going to cost you about 5,000 euros more than that base model ID4. So if you pick the Model Y in this comparison here, you are a part of a trend, says Automotive News in Europe, because European sales of the SUV tripled to 125,144 in the first half of this year. I've also heard word that Tesla is actually going to discount the price of the Model Y within the next few months, making it even more compelling in Europe. Now, that could be wrong, but I think it's pretty likely. And I'm going to make a video very soon on why I think that's likely to happen, not just in Europe, but in the United States, in Australia, and other places as well. Of course, Tesla's several rounds of price cuts that started in January have boosted Model Y sales, but other companies have cut their prices as well. Volkswagen Group have done the same. In fact, most companies worldwide have reduced their prices on their electric cars this year, partly as a result of Tesla, but also Chinese competition too. I mean, the MG4 is selling quite well as well. Musk, they say, does not care about residual values scaring away their existing customers. Now, I'm not sure that's the case. I mean, I think he does care, but I think he just thinks, well, that's important, but what's more important? Selling more EVs. Tesla is building more cars than it sells, and the vehicles and parking spaces for finished vehicles are becoming scarce at its European Gigafactory near Berlin. But Tesla's current sales success means that Musk has once again picked the right strategy. It's still making a profit on the EVs it's selling in Europe, and its competition clearly are not. In fact, Volkswagen Group just paused all electric car production at one of their factories in Germany. And in fact, they fired 35% of the staff in that factory, which is quite surprising when you consider the fact that electric car sales have risen sharply this year in Europe. In the race to electrify the industry, Automotive News says that European automakers have lost the first round. For the second round, they need to make battery electric cars that have the same desirability and leading technology as their combustion engine models. Now, Volkswagen Group are very well aware of that, which is the reason why they just signed a contract with Chinese state-owned car company SAIC, or SAIC, for them to manufacture their EVs for them. Now, they're framing this to say that Volkswagen Group and Audi are simply buying the platform. I think that's pretty unlikely, guys. I'm going to go out there and say it's the most likely scenario is SAIC will simply make the EVs for the Volkswagen Group for Audi using some of their parts, the interior parts, to make it look like an Audi, make it look like a Volkswagen, but actually, fundamentally, beneath that sort of subtle facade, they'll actually be Chinese EVs basically made by the Chinese government. That's the way that Germany is firing back at Tesla. Very interesting strategy. Maybe it's their best move. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.